This episode is brought to you by Simple Funding LLC. For all of your pre-settlement funding needs, contact Simple Funding LLC to receive your money promptly. They're a customer-centric legal funding company that provides exceptional funding solutions at affordable rates. Simple Funding covers a diverse range of cases, including car accidents, slip and falls, worker compensation, medical malpractice, wrongful death, and more. They recognize that life goes on and you need to access your funds immediately, which is why they offer clients a swift and efficient process with minimal documentation requirements. For more information, visit simplefundingllc.com or contact them directly at 678-855-6232. Enjoy the show. And welcome back to another episode of True Stories from a Real Private Eye. I'm your host, Vinny Capola. With me, as always, is Lynn Lambden, a real private investigator in Atlanta, Georgia. What do you have for us this week, Lynn?
Well, Vinny, Mr. Hill couldn't be with us this week. He had to be at a funeral home tonight. His niece died, and so he had to be with family tonight. So he
Understood.
He'll be with us next week, and so we'll discuss his case next week. So today, I guess we'll discuss when I was trying to serve someone down near South Georgia. Long drive down. It was a rainy day.
Are you talking about Brunswick, Valdosta? Which part of South Georgia? Do you remember?
It wasn't. It was near Blackshire, Georgia.
Okay.
I'm not really sure what town it was in. I guess we could do a Google search and find out.
Okay.
But I drove about all day, about 3.5 hours, and I'm looking for this house to serve this person, and I can't find it, and it's raining, and you're so far down in the South Georgia that the dirt is turning to sand.
Right.
And so I drive by this building, and there's one police car sitting outside, and it said sheriff's office on it. So I thought, well, if anybody knows where to find this at, it's this place here. There's a sheriff's car sitting there, and it says sheriff's office.
Yeah.
So I get out of my car, and I go in, and it's an old sheriff's office or a sheriff's building. It's a courthouse, not a courthouse, but they used to jail people there.
Right.
And when they had a trial there and you were found guilty, they would hang you in this building.
Oh my God.
So
yeah.
They had,
so it was what do you call it? It was full service.
It was full service. It sure was.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm talking to this very nice lady who tells me how to get to where I'm going, which is only about 1.5 miles from where I'm at. But it was kind of tricky to get there. You had to take 2 dirt roads.
Okay.
It's a dirt road off of a dirt road. So,
yeah.
And this was an old rundown building. I mean, rundown. It was historical, but somebody should have put some money in it to clean it up because it was run down. But it was a very, very historical. And I asked the lady, I said, tell me a little bit about this building. So it's got 3 cells in it. So when you walk in the door, the first cell on the left-hand side is just a blank cell. It's like 6x6, 8x8 cell. And there's no beds in it, no chairs in it, nothing. And no toilets, nothing. And then the cell behind it, directly behind it on the left side, there's beds and there's a toilet, and it's like a 12x12 cell, and there's like 6 or 8 beds in it. You got a bed, and a bed. So you got 8 beds in it, and you got a toilet, and you got a water fountain, and then on the right hand side, directly over from it, you've got another 12x12 cell with the same setup, and then across the hallway from this blank cell here with nothing in it, it goes back into a little office where this lady was answering the phone, and she was the 911 dispatch.
Okay.
So she kind of did everything.
Right.
And this blank cell here, it's a 2-story building. And in this cell here, she goes, now this is a kind of interesting cell. She goes, when you hang people, this is where you fall. And she said, just in case you don't die, they don't want you to run away, so they make you fall in a cell.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So she said, let's go upstairs. So we go upstairs, and Vinny, I'm telling you, man, it was the craziest thing. Now, this was back from the 1800s. I'm thinking it was the early 1800s. I was so taken back by what it was that I didn't really listen to the dates. But when you go up the stairs, you turn left, and right here's the setup. And it's about waist high on me. I'm 6'2", and it's about waist high on me. And it's 4-sided, about this big around piping. And it's got a door. You got a little latch, and you open the door. And you walk them out on this metal platform. And you got a metal thing in the ceiling that they hang the rope from. And they got a rope hanging there.
Holy cow.
And they put you in this little room, and this little thing, and they close the door. And they got, you seen these old tractors that's got the gear shift that's, you have to pull the little lever?
Yeah.
And that's what it's like. It's got, it sticks up, and then it's got a little lever that you pull, a little brake on it, and then you yank it back, and the door falls. Yeah. And it's just all manual. There's no electricity needed.
Yeah, right.
And when you pull that handle back, that trap door falls.
Right.
She goes, you can step out on there if you want to. I said, I don't want to.
Yeah. Right.
I'm not stepping out there.
Yeah.
She goes, well, we're not going to put the rope around your neck or anything. I said, you damn right you're not.
Right. Right.
I said, I'm not going out there.
Yeah.
And I pulled the door open, and I took my foot, and I kind of patted the door and everything, but I'm not stepping out there.
No, I don't blame you.
Call it superstition, call it whatever you want. So I got to talking to the woman. I said, well, tell me, who have you hung here? She said, back in the day, we hung people all the time. She said, rumor has it. She said, I don't really know. She said, but the rumor has it. She says, but we hung one of the only women to ever be executed in the state of Georgia. And she told me the whole story about how this woman was kind of like a Black Widow type woman. And I don't even remember the story, to be honest with you, but they had a big trial, and she killed 2 or 3 of her family members and killed some big official in the town. And that was the last person they hung there. And it was one of the most interesting. I guess I spent about an hour and a half, 2 hours there. Yeah. And it was the most interesting jailhouse I've ever visited.
You think it's still there?
Oh, it's still. I just about bet you it's a historical site.
So people can drive up and go check it out if they want.
They can drive up and they can go check it out if they would like. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I mean,
if it's still there, we'll put a link.
This was 25 years ago, Vinny. This was 25 years ago. Let's call a break.
Okay.
Okay, Vinny, after a quick Google search, Susan Eberhardt was hanged at the Webster County Jail in 1873. So if anybody wants to Google it and look at it, we'll put a link to it.
We'll put a link in the description.
But it's a real interesting. I couldn't find if it was still open for tours or not, which when I was there back in the early 2000s, late 1990s, it wasn't open for tours. I just happened to stop in to ask for directions. Yeah. And I just ask a lot of questions. I just have a curious mind and I ask a lot of questions and when I ask questions, I get these kind of answers, and these are the kind of answers I kind of look for. It's I love history. Yeah. But I'm just going to tell you, you talk about giving you chills. when they open that metal gate and you hear, and then they say step out on that metal plate if you want to. I got chills.
Yeah.
And
no thanks.
There's no way you couldn't. A team of horses couldn't have forced me out on that metal plate.
No,
I couldn't imagine. I stood there for a few minutes and thought about it when I was there, and I just thought about them. Santana always has to say hello. She can't stand the camera.
Right. Hey, Santana.
I just couldn't imagine them putting a sack over my head and putting a noose around my neck.
I wonder, what is the sack for? Why do they got to take away your sight? I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question.
But it would have took a team to put me out there.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't have went willingly.
Yeah, of course not.
And I'm telling you, not from watching a movie. I'm telling you from standing at the doorway of a hangman's, of an executioner's post.
Right.
I'm telling you, I couldn't have went. It would have taken everybody in that county to push me out there.
Yeah, just to even stand on that metal plate. Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing that I thought about as I gripped that brake.
Yeah.
How does somebody grab that brake and pull it?
Yeah, right.
I mean, that brake wasn't 12 inches from the railing of that place of the railing, and the brake was about 12 inches apart, and the railing was right around the metal plate, which means that you were within arm's distance of the person you were just getting ready to execute.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you assigned that job, and how do you accept that job?
Yeah.
I couldn't accept that job.
Yeah. Imagine the guy that goes out for that job. Can I be the guy?
No. I mean, just think about it. I mean, think about how do you accept that job? It's not like you are in a firing squad and there's 12 of you and only one of you has a live bullet.
Yeah.
You are the one, and you're standing right there, and you're the one pulling that brake. How do you do that?
Right.
I couldn't pull that. I mean, even knowing who that person was, knowing what they'd done beyond a shadow of a doubt, I couldn't pull that brake.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been tough for me too, buddy.
I just couldn't pull that brake.
That takes a special type of person. You know, it's like, these different, like I always say, there's like, I love the UFC, man. I'm fascinated by it. I enjoy the sport, but it takes a special person to get into a cage in front of a crowd of people and beat someone's brains in or get someone's brains beat in. So I don't understand how some people do the things they do, and pulling the brake on a lever that kills a guy, that's another one. Couldn't tell you.
Well, Vinny, I fought in martial arts tournaments for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Now, fighting in a martial arts tournament against an opponent that has the ability to fight back. Right. I get it. That is competition.
Yeah.
That is.
I'm talking about. I guess what I'm talking about is the losing part. Yeah. Losing, getting your face beat up, beat in, or the chance of that happening in front of an auditorium full of people cheering. That's.
Yeah. I fought in tournaments and in front of a crowd of people. Yeah. And losing's losing, no matter if it's Yeah. No matter what you're doing, losing's losing.
Yeah, it's a state of mind. It's the fighter's competitive state of mind. You know, he or she, they that's what they signed on for. I get it. It's just I can't wrap my head around it. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm telling you, Vinny, when you and I sit here talking, it's one thing to talk about doing it, but when you're standing there and you're looking and gripping a actual executioner's brake that is actually executed people,
Right.
you get a whole different feel.
Yeah. In that room. How many people died in that room?
Yeah. How many people died by that grip of that brake?
Yeah.
And you're sitting there holding that brake and you're looking at it going, can I do that?
Yeah.
And you're going, there ain't no way on God's green earth could I ever take a man's life
Yeah.
by grabbing that brake and just now, if it's in the heat of the moment and somebody's breaking into my house and it's my life or theirs, that's a different
100%.
story.
100%.
But to have somebody's hands cuffed behind their back and a bag over their head and a rope around their neck, that is that's brutal.
Yeah.
That's just brutal.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, man. And the rope had the way they explained it, the way that it was explained to me is it's a 12-foot ceiling, and they drop you within about a foot of the floor, so that when the rope catches, it just snaps your neck.
Yeah. It kills you.
And kills you.
So wait a minute now. So back when this was a regular thing, they were hanging people. There'd be people in those other cells
Watching.
and the guy would just drop in.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Yeah. There was a cell directly behind it and a cell catty corner to the right, 45 to the right.
Hey man, there goes Hank on the long walk.
Yeah.
He's upstairs. Boop. Now he's back down here.
Yeah. But I mean, think about it. I mean, where else would they have put those prisoners?
No.
What would they have done? Taking them out back?
See, to me, that is equally as masochistic. Okay, you talk about putting the bag over his head, putting his hands behind his back, dropping him 12 feet until his neck snacks. Well, I'm telling you, sitting in that cell and then watching a body drop 1 foot off the floor, neck snapped, whatever, twitching maybe a little bit, and knowing, man, mine's like 2 more days and that's me. I mean, that's masochistic. They could have at least put a wall up or something.
Yeah, they may have put up a black curtain or something, but when I was there was no
black curtain. Yeah,
you
I like to go back.
see.
I'm betting they didn't put up no black curtain. See, all of that was to deter crime, and it was a very, very, very clever.
Well, I'm going to tell you,
there were guys in that cell watching a body drop and going, you know what, man, I'm going straight after this. I got another week, and I'm going straight.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, getting a job.
I don't care if I would have just been passing by and I heard it. I wouldn't have committed a crime.
Yeah, yeah. Well, dude, I tell you, I was what? I was 27, 28 years old, and I was dating this girl, and she got arrested and sent to county, and I had to bail her out, and this was in Miami, and I don't know if you know anything about Miami, but it's that's that can be a very rough area, especially where she was picked up. But in any case, I remember walking into that jail, not the jail cell, but the building, and going, man, I'm never coming here.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to be here. You could hear the jail just through the door,
Yep.
Yep.
Well, you talk about a Scared Straight program, Vinny.
Yes.
Can you?
That's what I'm talking about. I just saw the jail cell, but can you imagine being sitting in the jail cell and then seeing this guy drop in? Yeah.
Well, I mean, think about it. You're 16, 17 years old, and you've been in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
And your dad says, "Come on, there's a hanging today. Let's go."
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't that scare you straight?
Yeah. Yep. Sure would.
I mean, talk about a Scared Straight program today where these little punks mouth off to the prisoners and stuff because they're behind bars.
Yeah.
Take them there.
Yeah, take them there.
You'd come out going, "What's that smell?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Johnny, did you shoot yourself?
Now watch close. He's going to pull the lever.
Yeah, because you can't see from the bottom up. So you're just standing there and all of a sudden you hear clank, bam.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all of a sudden you hear the shoes hit the floor.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, it's just, you just get this really strange, really,
chill. Yeah.
And I bet you money that there's hundreds of people listening that's going to say, I would step out on there, and you put them out there, and I bet you 75% of them you couldn't push out there with a tractor.
Yeah, heck yeah.
You know, they're all brave and ballsy until you put them right there. Because I was the same way. I was a young punk.
Yeah.
And she said, you want to go upstairs? I said, hell yeah, let's go. I'll step out there.
Yeah.
And something inside of me just locked up, and I just couldn't force myself out there. I mean, something just, she said, man, it's not going to fall.
Yeah.
And she said, it's safe. You can step out there.
Yeah.
And she said, even if it does, you're just going to fall down.
Right.
No.
No, thank you. Yeah.
I mean, something inside of me, I mean, like I'm telling you, it was like cast iron. You just couldn't force me out there.
Right.
I mean, it was just like, you know, something had been you turn that key and it was just like, no, I'm not going.
Nope. No.
I mean, you get a different feeling when you're standing there staring that in the face, knowing that people has actually.
And the rope's right above your head.
Well, the rope's hanging right there, and people have been executed there.
Yeah.
I'm telling how many's been executed there.
Right.
And you're just going, no.
No, thank you.
No. You know, whether you believe in ghosts or not, the minute you step out there, some ghost is going to go, tink. See how it feels?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm not, it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And, you know, I grabbed that brake, and it's just like, you know what I'm talking about, that old tractor brake that comes up and it's just got the lever out there that sticks out there. And it's just like, no.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah.
And then you fall down in that cell, and that cell that you fall down in is the first thing you see when you come in that door.
Right.
You know.
What's this? This is the fall cell.
That's what I called it.
Yeah.
And I asked them, I said, why do you make them fall in a cell? I said, you're killing them. She was, well, not everybody died. You don't want them to try to get away.
With a snap neck?
Like, well,
not getting far.
So, you know, and then my next question to her is, you have 2 holding cells right there. She goes, well, yeah, that's where we kept the prisoners. I said, well, what do you do here now? She goes, well, we just run dispatch out of here now. And I asked a lady, I said, she's just the nicest lady in the world. I said, well, do you like hear voices, or does people tap you on the shoulder and you turn around and nobody's there? She goes, nah, they don't bother me.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Because, I mean, you have to ask.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about what's happened there.
Right.
I mean, you have to ask.
Yeah.
It was a pretty interesting day for me.
Yeah. Did you find the address and complete the assignment?
I did. So, it was just down the street. Like I said, you go down the street, I think, you know, about 1.5 miles, and it's 2 dirt roads, and there it was.
So that was all uneventful.
After what I'd been through, it was
right.
You know, my adrenaline was so high when I was at there talking with her. I needed a nap after I left.
I bet. Yeah.
But y'all, it was very uneventful. The reason that I couldn't find it is because the street sign had been either knocking down or take down or something. But she told me how to get there, and
it was before GPS, of course.
Oh, well, way before GPS. This was when I had the old, the big old map books.
Rand McNally.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you.
Oh man, I that's how I used to get to gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Open up the Rand McNally, pull over to the side of the road, open up the map Rand McNally, and plot out the course and everything. And I don't know how I did it.
Yeah.
But I did it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
You imagine those maps and going through neighborhoods. That's how I used to get around. But what I'd do is I would plot out my map, and then I would write it down. You know, turn left on this street, turn right, turn left.
Me too. Me too. Yeah.
So when I went in to talk to her, I said, it keeps telling me to turn right on this street, and I can't find it.
Yeah.
And she says, well, that street sign's been knocked down.
Right.
She said, but I'll tell you how to get there.
Yeah.
So she told me how to get there, and after I got done talking with her, I went and served them, You know,
Very
I just happened to drive by the place and stopped,
Yeah.
and that's how I found her.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I'm just telling you, it was a different experience. You have no clue what it was like to stand on the bottom and go, well, hell yeah, I'll go up there. I'll
Right,
jump out on that thing. And then it's just like, I hit a brick wall. It's like,
Yeah.
nah, I can't do it.
No.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it was like a phobia, man. It was just like,
Yeah. Something stopped you.
yeah.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't have done it either. No way.
I tapped it. I put my foot out there and I tapped it a couple times, but that was about it.
Yeah, that's it.
It was just a big old flat metal plate with hinges on the back side.
I get it.
You know,
Yeah.
I just Vinny, I just couldn't do it, man. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I tried, but I couldn't.
Yeah. Why? You know, I don't know.
I couldn't even step out there and hold on to the rails and do it. I just couldn't.
Right.
And I'm not afraid of heights.
No.
It wasn't the height thing. It was just
Not about that.
it was just the executioner thing.
Sure.
You know, it was just that scary. You know, I don't know. Just it
Listen,
will.
man, I don't know, man. It's like almost like a karma thing, you know. I mean, you don't want. Listen. I'm not sure how I feel about ghosts. You know, I'm hot and cold on it. If they put a gun to my head, I'd say, nah, I don't think so. But if there was, which I don't discount that there are ghosts or whatever, you know, I never say never. But you don't want to piss nobody off. You know what I'm saying? Like what if you step out on that thing and the ghost is like, are you making fun of me? You know?
Yeah. But
and now you got a ghost on your ass giving you bad luck and bad karma and all that, you know, so just better just to stay off of it. Stay off the platform.
Yeah, but you realize your immortality when you.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
For me, it was when you realize what it is, and when you see what it is for what happens there, you realize your immortality.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't. It was just like, nah.
This would end my life. This thing right here, this whole situation would end my life.
Yep.
I am in the vicinity of my life ending. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. I get that 100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I just.
Well, you know, my family lives in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, so I have to drive through South Georgia to get to Florida to see my family. One of these days, we're going to leave early. I'm just going to take a little trip to Webster County, man. I'm just going to just. You know what? Sonny won't step on it. Vicky might, but I guarantee you Vincent will. The baby will run right up on that thing, and start jumping on it. He's a monster.
So he don't care, huh?
Oh, he's a monster, dude. He just gets into everything. Into everything. He's got no fear. Climbs on everything. But yeah. But no, dude, that sounds fascinating. I would love to see that. We'll put a link in the description about the story of Susan Everhart and the name of the facility for whoever's interested.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this was cool, buddy. Next week we got
Jimmy Hill.
Jimmy Hill. Okay, couldn't be here because he had to attend a funeral. We understand. We know how that goes. But he is going to he's gonna delve a little deeper into police corruption and the story of his son and how a bunch of rules were violated. Isn't that correct?
That is correct. How he lost his son, and he's been fighting since the death of his son. I think that was in 2019. Just to sum it up for you, a young lady accused his son of stealing her purse at gunpoint. The police did not do any checks and balances. They sent out a task force to arrest him. A overzealous police officer shot him in the head and killed him. His son actually ran from the police, ran down into another apartment, hid. The police chased him. He was hiding in a closet, and when they told him to come out of the closet, he came out of the closet with his hands up. the police officer shot and killed him. Now, this is not hearsay. This has all been proven in a court of law. And the young lady that accused him of the armed robbery recanted her story and said the story was not true, that he did not rob her, that she made that story up.
Oh.
And they have brought no charges against the young lady.
The blood of this kid is on that woman's hands.
Yes, and she has not been charged with any crime. She still walks free today, which she should be brought up with the murder.
100%.
Yeah. The police officer has evaded charges, and Jimmy will explain all that to you through. He said Fulton County can't charge him. The city of Atlanta can't charge him because they said he was on loan to a federal agency at the time of the warrant. It's all just a big cover up, and it's a big mess. Jimmy's son, Jimmy Atkinson, should still be alive today. I'm not for running from the police, but after you hear this story, I understand why people run from the police.
Okay.
He was accused of something he didn't do, and all the police had to do was just check out this girl's story.
Right.
If they would have checked out her story, they would have found out that she was lying.
Yeah.
And then they would have never have went to arrest him.
Yeah.
And the kid would have been alive today.
Yeah.
So I have a ton of questions. I have a million questions. Why is the girl still free? Was one of the officers? Was one of the officers dating her?
Yeah.
Was one of the officers dating a family member? Why is this girl not being charged? Who does this girl know?
Right.
Why is this girl not being charged? Why is they fighting so hard to keep this police officer from going to prison?
Right.
It has been proven that Jimmy Atkinson, the kid, never had a gun. It has been testified by other police officers at the scene that he came out of the closet with his hands up.
Right.
With no weapon in his hands.
Yeah.
Why are they fighting so hard to keep this police officer out of prison?
Right.
I mean, I realize that we have to have police officers. I realize that.
Yeah.
But we have to get the bad ones out of the system.
Yeah.
Just like we talked about last week.
Yeah.
The judge knew that this police officer was bad. Other police officers on the force knew that this police officer was bad. Why didn't somebody stop this police officer before it got to this point?
Yeah.
Who allowed this warrant to move forward without checking out this girl's story? What judge signed off on this?
Yeah.
Why did the judge sign off on this without checking to see if this story had been verified?
Right.
I mean, why are all of these questions going unanswered?
Yeah. Yeah.
And why is our city officials allowing this to continue without demanding answers? I mean, there's got to be a reason behind it.
Yeah.
What are these reasons? What?
Hopefully, Mr. Hill can shed some light on all that.
Well, Mr. Hill,
those are great questions. Those are great questions.
Well, Mr. Hill is a very, I don't want to say sad story, but Mr. Hill is a sad story in the fact that he walks the streets of Atlanta begging for help, talking to anybody that'll listen to him.
Yeah.
He goes to City Hall anytime that he gets any free moment of his life. He goes to City Hall. He begs lawmakers to listen to him. He goes anywhere that he can, and he begs people just to talk to him about his son's story, and he begs anybody he can to help him, meaning not people on the street, but lawmakers, attorneys, judges, anybody that he can. He just begs them to help get justice for his son. That's all he wants, is just justice for his son.
For sure.
And it just keeps falling on deaf ears.
Yeah.
And why does this fall on deaf ears? Who is this man? Who are these people involved? Why do they carry so much power?
Who does he know?
He obviously knows somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they issue a warrant. I'm assuming they issued a warrant. We'll find out when we talk to his father, Jimmy.
Okay.
They obviously issued a warrant. They go out to arrest him with a task force a federally put together task force, a federally funded task force, and they never verified this girl's story.
Right.
I mean, why does this girl carry so much power?
Yeah.
I mean, we talked to Ken Krause a few weeks ago, and he simply had a divorce case where that a woman accused another woman of breaking into her house, and he goes to the earth's ends to verify the story before he would even consider issuing a warrant.
Yeah.
So shouldn't a story be verified before that you send a trigger-happy cop out to arrest someone?
I would think so.
With this kind of force behind it?
Yeah.
I mean, they've got to be some kind of checks and balances here.
Yeah.
Because police officers are losing credibility rapidly when they do things like this.
Right.
And our cities and our counties and our government officials are not doing anything to restore that credibility. They're trying to cover up for it and to keep him out of prison. Now, he did resign from the force. He is no longer a police officer. But that doesn't make the task force look any better. It just makes the city and the county and the state and the feds look like, well, we're going to commit whatever crime we have to, and we're just going to cover up for it.
Right.
We're just going to cover up for it.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. Hill has not been compensated in any way for the wrongful death of his son. So, you know, why are you covering up for it?
Yeah. It's going to be a sad one next week, but it's going to be full of information. And I'm already intrigued. I can't wait to hear the story. I can't wait to hear the details. So come on back. Definitely give that one a listen. We appreciate you so much for being here for this one. This was a fun one, Lynn.
I told you you'd like it, Vinny.
Yeah. This was a fun one. Come on back for next week. We're going to talk to Jimmy Hill about his son.
And after you go down and visit the jail, I want you to tell the audience if you could actually step out on the plate.
I'm already telling you right now I can't. I'm not even there. I didn't even see the thing, and I'm telling you. But it's going to be a fun one next week. Thank you once again, Simple Funding, for sponsoring this episode. We do appreciate it. If you like stand-up comedy and goofball videos, check me out online. You can go to my website and find all my links to all my social media at vinnie.com, vinnie.com. If you need a detective, if you need to serve somebody, surveil somebody, you need to find somebody, Lynn Lambden is one of the best. Tell them your website. Lynn.
And if you need a background search done to find out if your defendant is worth suing, if they have any, assets to go after, give me a call or look me up on the internet. It's LWIAS.com. That's LWIAS.com.
If they and if you mention we heard you on the podcast, Lynn,
we will give you a discount.
Oh, I was going to say he'll expedite the case, but discount's even better.
You mentioned that you heard it on the podcast, and we will give you a discount.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Lynn, I'll talk to you soon.